There can be no better examples of the culture shift within sports officiating than the increase in assaults against officials and the growth of jurisprudence related to officiating. In the first case, much of what I call the assault against referees complex is there for the world to see. The availability of phone videos and photos have fully washed away any notion that saying officials are under serious and increasingly frequent assault is nothing but hyperbole being thrown around by those of us within this community. The lie has been put to that. Frankly, I'm getting a little worn down by the number of videos sent to us on a weekly basis showing officials being assaulted, physically assaulted. Someone said it is the new normal in quotes. I am not ready to accept that. In the second case, that of the courts and their intersections with officiating, I can simply say that never have there been more of them. More cases, more hearings, more pleadings, more decisions, and more appeals. It has become a cottage industry within industrial overtones for all of us. We are having to defend our beliefs, our practices, and our enforcement procedures like never before. We get taken to court and we take others to court. The rule of law cuts both ways, and we should be darn glad we live in a society that places a premium on the commoner's right to legal redress. In the most recent months, 3 legal proceedings have been of special note, and each reader of this magazine should pay attention to them. First, there is the Hayden Halter case, currently under appeal, having to do with a Racine, Wisconsin, which is the home of this magazine, by the way, circuit court judge overruling a decision made by a wrestling official during a match. The judge, who I feel grossly overstepped his bounds, took a look at a cell phone video, talked to the referee, the coaches, and the athlete. He then overturned the referee's judgment calls on unsporting behavior against a star wrestler. It is virtually unprecedented for a court to overrule such a decision by an official. This is a very serious matter. If a judge sitting in session can play armchair referee, well, we are in for a long, slow spiral to the bottom land. This case has been appealed by the WIAA, the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association. NASO and this magazine will assist the WIAA in any way they can. Second, there is the case involving renowned NCAA men's basketball referee John Higgins. As you may remember, Higgins, his family, and his roofing business were trashed by a Lexington area sports talk radio station after Kentucky lost an important game. Coach John Calipari poured gasoline on the pyre at his news conference directly after that game. Higgins suffered personal and professional harm and decided to stand up for himself and for all of us if you think about it. He has had to reach deep into his pockets to press this case, well into 6 figures, by the way. He wasn't successful in round 1, but he is pushing forward with an appeal. We should tip a hat to him and wish him well. And third, there is the National Labor Relations Board Allegheny Lacrosse Officials Association case that many of us have been following. The group of lacrosse officials suing the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association, the PIAA, is to be recognized as employees of that association and not as independent contractors. This case brought with it the potential of remapping the landscape of amateur officiating. As you will read in our special report on page 72 of the current issue, the D.C. Circuit Court has now ruled that amateur officials will continue to be ICs, what we have been forever. The effort by the PIAA cost it mega serious legal fees, and the court's ruling could even be taken one step further to the U.S. Supreme Court. Likely it will not, but even the thought of that it could does that not say something about how officiating has changed? Thank you.